One thing I like about the internet, it is a confessional, for a lot of people. Case in point, this, young, white woman. I want you to hear exactly what she says about her people. And we do these things so you as Black America can learn, from people like her and learn knowing the nuances of racism. Let's roll that.
So entirely true, and I never realized it because I've been a brunette my entire life, and I bleached my hair blonde a week ago. I've never gotten as much attention as I've gotten right now, and not only that, you don't realize how racist the general population of white people really is until they know that you're not racially ambiguous anymore, because I was with brunette hair. Now that I'm a blonde, they're like, oh, you're definitely white, so you're a safe space for my racism. 100%. Almost every single Uber driver that I've had has said something about either Indians, Filipinos, Black people, no matter what. People just feel the need to tell you all of their internal racist thoughts now that they know that you're one of them.
Now, it's very interesting that she says that when she colored her hair blonde, that they felt real comfortable around her to start, just revealing themselves. So, maybe because they got some, white women that like what we do here. I know it says the Black congregation, but one thing I would tell you is that it can say Black, it can say African, it can say Caribbean, it can say whatever, and we're going to have white people watching completely. So maybe some of the white women who are actually blonde, not a bottle blonde like this one, has that been your experience? But I think it's quite interesting as you look at this woman. I remember a time when white women and white men in particular as well, they were repulsed by, Black people because of their lips. That's one of the things they couldn't stand. And you see today, as this white woman on the screen, she got all kind of fillers in her lips, right? It's just amazing how that the things that Black women were always ridiculed for, their lips, their butts, all that sort of thing. Now these women are spending money on BBLs. When y'all talking about BBLs, it's just not Black women and other groups of women outside of Black getting it. No, you got a lot of white women getting BBLs. You know what I'm saying? They getting the lips, they going getting the breast implants and everything else. And we know white men aren't the ones that's requesting them to go do this. It's not what white men are saying. Not at all. I just think that's quite interesting. And, as a Black woman, and yet these women get that on them and yet don't like Black women. That's the interesting part. But that's a conversation of a different day. But they feel that, well, you must be a Nordic queen. And so since you are representing to them a Nordic Viking queen, then I can just really be, my white supremacist self in front of you. And, it's crazy that, what she said about she's a natural brunette, but to them, if you got blonde hair, you must be more pure. So I guess in their mind, a brunette white woman, she must have something mixed down the line. So I better be careful because I don't know what she is. That's a great insight into the mind of the white supremacists. But yeah, this woman saying that they are, just expressing themselves. And, the Dave Chappelle skit with Clayton Bigsby, let that hate out. That's exactly what they're doing, with this woman. But shout out to her. Shout out to her for letting the world know how her community thinks. That's why I tell Black folk is that you suspect, they that way until they prove otherwise. And that's just a protection mechanism for us because we have too much of a documented history to, assume otherwise. It's like this. I'm not saying that you are, but due to the culture you're raised upon, and many of them admitted, and they admitted to me, to my face, that they were raised to be that way, and they had to unlearn their culture later in life. I've been told this several times to my face from their particular community. So when you hear me say certain things, it's because I have lived experiences. I've had people tell me to my face, and I always appreciate any, white person that can admit that. I think it's honorable you admitting that. I think it says a lot about you and that you're not that way and you being just a great human being, right? And you're not representative of, a lot of those in the majority of your community who have anti-Black, thoughts. But, this is something that, that this lady's admitting and this is for Black Americans just to learn, into the mind of the people that you're dealing with.